Good Friday evening to everyone and anyone. Stuff to discuss tonight. Stuff to discuss. Right? Didn't imitated, never duplicated. That bull with no hair, that shouts like Ric Flair. What? Woo! You heard me. Hooray! That's enough of that. And no, I don't like the nickname bipolar bear. So don't start that. That should not become a thing. Oh, who do I see tonight? I see Kim Lissetti. I see Glenn Medina. What's up, Kim? What's up, Glenn? I see George Prieto, my good friend in the house. What's up, George? Oh, Bobby Ware. Or Raider. Bobby Raider. Lucky Taste. What's up, brother? Always there for me, man. No, you make it there. I take puppets. What's up, brother? Hey, and for those of you who say my opening takes too long, I'm at 1 minute. 1 minute. I think it's just a minute. Just satisfy my food game, you know. And then we're off and running. Grab a little bit of cat wings. Yeah, sure. Have the coach. Oh, I'm going to see. Sure. Alexa, stop. Trenders! First comment, woo! MVP tonight goes to Jim Vanderland on YouTube. What's up, Jim? Well, actually, Jim's probably on both. You know, he brags like that because he got some love for the R8RBEAR. So you should like and follow the bear, like and subscribe and follow the R8RBEAR on YouTube, and especially. Let me put on. All right, Jim. All right, Jim. Mark Vargas, he one-upped you and added the panda bear and the koala bear. Okay, so Mark Vargas, now you're being called out for your own thing. You know, he kind of outdid you. Speaking of which, second place, Mark Vargas. But only one man gets the bear tonight, and it's Jim Vanderland. Third place, my bronze medal on YouTube, Larry Brooks Jr. What's up, LB? Welcome to the show, and a good evening to you, sir. I had a great day. Honorable mention goes out to Troy Gill and Raider Ryan. All right, let's keep it moving. On Facebook, here we go. First place, my gold medal to him, the heavyweight champion of the world, Dustin King. Wow, the reign continues. And it gets even more interesting with the former heavyweight champion of the world, Josh Russell. It's good to see you, champ. Former champ. Champ. You're a champ in my heart still. I love how I make this like it matters. I think you guys can't sleep at night unless, you guys get through your rivalry. Each time. Third place, Mike Hendu Henderson. What's up, Mike? Welcome to the show. Always there for a Raider Bear. My guys, Dustin King, Josh Russell, Mike Hendu Henderson, and of course from YouTube, my guy Jim Vanderland, Mark Vargas, and Larry Brooks Jr. Appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate you liking and following Raider Bear family page. All right, so let's keep it moving. I'm going to say hi to everyone real quick. Yo, Jake Bumpus. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. John the Lion, Leon, tuning in from YouTube. Appreciate that. Travis McNeil, what's up? Okay, I'm just going to admit now that was a burp. It was. I just, I've done 1,000 shows. It was bound to happen eventually. Sup, Travis McNeil. Welcome to the show. And I'm still laughing at Jim Vanderland busting a 4 bear head move. That was impressive. That just, hats off to you. That was a good one. Lucky Pace, what's up? Always there for a bear. I see that. Herman Jr., what's up, Herman? Welcome to the show. Joel Irons, what's up, Joel? Welcome to the show. Elon Bush, good evening, Bear, from the YouTube side this time. Appreciate that, Elon. Welcome to the show. Okay, let me see. Tommy, what's up, Tommy boy? Hey, Tommy, we talked about this briefly the other day, but you should be excited about Saquon Barkley. You really should, because no matter what you saw him do with the Giants, it was for the most part with a very bad offensive line. They had a very bad offensive line. And so for Saquon to do half the things he did on that team, it was amazing. It was just short of amazing. Now you put him on a team like the Eagles that, have a front that's pretty respectable. He's going to eat. He's going to do some things. Nicholas Maida always there for Raider Bear. What's up, Nicholas? Appreciate you, brother. Joey Rivera. How you doing, Joey? I like that last name, Rivera. Denton Rhodes. It's coming, Denton Rhodes. I'm just not going to say it right now. Stephen Shaw, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. See you there. David Pelkliver, what's up, David? Mount Rushmore. Isn't it cute watching these kids do the medal round like you used to do when you were a youngin'? All right, here's my first one. Doc Raider Bear. I took a personal day today and did nothing but hang out at my cabin in the woods without going into detail. When I was asked if the reason I was doing it was because of something that happened a few days ago, my exact quote was, "What do you think?" and hung the phone up. I don't know. That's confusing me. I don't know how to answer that, because you hung out because of something that happened. Sorry, I'm bad at riddles. Nothing wrong with this show, Glenn Medina. Yeah, it's kind of working out now. We did a little bit more computer work, and I think we've got it straight now. Now that's a better hat than the Swifty red one. Come on, man. That's like Christmas colors. That's that like ruby red. It's dope. And then I got the blueberry now. You got to feel the blueberry, right? The blueberry is just hot. I haven't even worn it yet. I've just been holding it and going, look at this. I'm some kind of hat collector, which I kind of am. But I wear all of mine. I don't just put them up to be looked at. Corinna True. Hello. What's up, girl? Welcome to the show. Travis Kelly said, I'm still hearing that Fields is coming. Honestly, Travis, I booked it. You watch my show, enough. I'm sure you saw me say it, but I pretty much told everyone it's when we got Luke Getsy, that was when I was like at poker table throwing in, the dice, because I just knew I'd win. And, I'm just right on this one. And I'm not right so much the Mr. Guru, but it's more like I've always said, actions belie words. So if they say, oh, we're not interested in Justin Fields, he's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to go get this guy who was his instructor and he really likes him. Oh, and this other guy that was an assistant that he worked with too. Yeah, both these guys worked with Justin Fields. Yeah, we're going to go get those guys. Because there's no other coaches in the league that can do what they can do. No, there's hundreds. And so you just happen to take the same guys that Justin Fields was just working with off a team that wasn't winning. So it's not like you went and got those coaches because they were doing dazzling things with the Bears. You see what I'm saying? No, it's because they're good coaches. The Bears had no personnel, but they have a relationship with Fields that could draw him right to Las Vegas. Well, now it's looking like it's a done deal. Russell went where he went. Kirk Cousins went where he went, Pittsburgh Steelers, Falcons, and so on. And I think Justin Fields is going to follow us. And unlike most people, I'm totally above getting bummed about it. So let me make this very clear. Even though it was my pick, and I was saying Justin Fields was coming to us, you could just tell because of the moves we're making. Even if it's my pick, I'm saying I'm still surprised. And I would still say to everyone watching, remember, what a guy does on a team when he leaves another team is a mystery. It's always a mystery. Remember, we had a wide receiver come to us from the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember Tommy? And he was a first-round pick. He had 3-4 years of time with the Eagles. And he was terrible all the time. Yeah, I think he had one good season for the Eagles. And then he came to us and we turned him into a star. And then he went into free agency, got a contract with the Patriots and, made a little money. So it's all what you do with a guy when he gets there. I'm fine. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? Welcome to the show. I'm completely fine with the idea of Justin Fields. I think he's a project, but now I think he's a smarter project that can take his teachers with him to a new school. And he'll just do better there. You know what I mean? Sorry, itch nose face. Hey, Bear, I like signing Snead from KC. What do you think? Joe Redmond, he's effective. That would work. But do we have a place for him now? I know we let go of Amik Robertson, but I know we have other people in mind than that. Gustavo Cortez, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. We are in control, man. I loved Antonio Pierce. We will be committed to excellence again. Raiders. Gustavo, great profile picture, and I got to tell you, I completely agree with everything you said. They're calling Kirk Cousins here in Atlanta Kirk Frost. I don't know. I kind of like Kirko. I promise once I figure out your new Windows, I will be back on job. Josh, I have no doubt, okay, Dustin King's days are numbered. I'll say it. He's just started his reign. He's a young pup, okay? He's good, but I don't know. I'm sure you'll be back. Ellis Irving, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Only 6 players left that moved from Oakland to Vegas. I know a lot of people are making a big deal about that. I'm not going to, Tony. And welcome to the show. In your profile picture, you look beautiful. I love your hair there. But I don't think that's a big deal. It was going to happen whether they stayed in Oakland or didn't go to Oakland. Players come, players go. It's just part of the business. I don't even understand that point they were trying to make. Happy Wednesday to you, Corinna. I appreciate that. Tana Moku, what's up, Tana? Welcome to the show. It's nice having an experienced general manager working through the process and not reaching. Raider Ryan, great comment. One more time. Maybe paid more than I would have liked for Uncle Rico, though. I get that, but you can't win every deal. I'm sure that's what that would have probably been your next statement. You can't win every deal. Val, what's up, girl? Welcome to the show. I'm here, Mr. Raider Bear. I was grading a homework assignment for Tommy. He either got a A- or a B. Plus, I haven't decided yet. Well, if you're asking me to chime in on it, it's an A-. That's my guy right there. You can't give him a B. Come on. Even though a B rhymes with bear, it starts my name. No, don't do that. Let's see. The Eagles are looking to trade for Fields. John Leon, I think they may be interested. They may even be raising the price to a certain extent. But from what I'm hearing, the Raiders were in, then they were out because the talks had stalled because the Raiders felt like they were asking too much, and they wanted to see if Kirko or Russell Wilson was still going to be, languishing there where they could make a deal with them. And then when they both signed, they made the Gardner Minshew move. But, I know a lot of the fan base thinks that Gardner Minshew is going to be in this battle with AOC for the number one. It's not going to be that way. Now, it might be, initially, but by the time we get to the start of the season, no way. Now, for example, Jaden Fields, or Jalen Fields, Jaden Daniels. Why am I getting his last name wrong? Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, I know, is kind of like a AP pupil. AP loves that kid. So is there a chance we could use the 13 to get him? Probably not likely, because if we want him, we're probably going to have to move up, because I can't see Jalen Daniels making it to 13, not 13. I think he's a top 10 guy, and I think the league thinks he's a top 10 guy. Now, having said that, though, I'm hearing more and more that the Raiders are rumored to be attached to JJ McCarthy. And my good friend, Raging Raider Rhino, is excited about that. He's a Michigan fan, but I also had another reporter give me a counterpoint where he basically said, if it was JJ, they would be moving up more, at least to the Patriots spot. So, but we'll see. I'm still a little surprised the Steelers got such a good deal on Russell. Still glad he did not come to the Raiders. Dustin King, I'll take the surprise of it out of it for you. What happens sometimes with a veteran player when they're about to go and get their very last contract or second to last contract, they have to, they get a discount because the player's being paid on his last contract still. So, for example, $39 million, and I know that's correct, I checked, $39 million worth of Russell Wilson's contract was still owed by the Broncos. So, in effect, he's going to make $40 million this upcoming season from the Broncos, whether he plays football or not. It's all guaranteed. In fact, he could retire right now, never play football again, and he's going to get the $40 million. Now, having said that, he moves forward to another team. Why would the other team pay him damn near anything? In other words, you're looking at the league minimum, 1.1, so $1 million plus another 100,000 to sign him. That's the league least you can pay for a veteran. And so that's what he signed for, just a couple pennies more than that, if I remember correctly. It was closer to 1.2 million. And that's it. Now they get that discount this time. Next season, there is no kick in for the 40 million, and they'd have to give him another real deal. That's why they paid for 1 year. Make sense? I hope the Bears keep Justin Fields and trade us their one pick. We take Jaden Daniels, not Caleb. Well, yeah, no, it definitely is not going to be Caleb. I don't even think Caleb's going to be the number one pick for whoever stays at number one. Whoever goes up to number one, if it's I'm going to take that statement back. Because if someone moves up to number one, there's going to be at least a couple teams that think that way. But the teams that were in the running the most, Atlanta made a move already. And let's see, Washington made a move already. What was the other team? I can't remember right now, but there's Washington. The Patriots made another move. So I don't know what the market's going to be, if it's going to be quite as hot as we thought at the very top. Or even top 10. Yeah, good riddance, Jimmy G-Spot. Thanks for failing your drug test, you moron. The Raiders will have the best D-line in the NFL now. Christian Wilkins is a super, super find. Now, when I say that, I've said that in the past, and I always explain myself by saying this. The reason why he's a super find is because not only is he a great player, he's not only a great high-energy player, he's a great guy. He's a locker room guy. Players love this guy. The Dolphins are not happy he's gone. They're not happy he's gone. Go to their leaderboard or their fan board. It takes 10 seconds. Trust me, you'll see what I mean. They're not happy. That guy was a baller. They wanted to re-sign him badly, and they just couldn't do it. They have other cap space contingencies. They couldn't do it, so we got him. And that guy is going to make Max's job so much easier, and he's going to make whoever we put on the right end so much easier. So that's a huge find. I would say that's the move of the year thus far. Okay, to explain my first comment, a couple of days ago, there was a verbal altercation at work, and even though I was later proved to be right by someone else, I was reprimanded for it. So I said screw and took a personal day. Um, so okay, so a verbal altercation. Let's see if it had language involved in it that's spelled through four letters. That's something you can write an employee up, whether they're right or not. So they may have felt like your language is inappropriate, that no matter how you may feel, you have to keep a certain respect level. Because I think when people get fired or accused of something at work, usually the boss or the security person or both that want to go to question you, they do it with respect. And, they speak to you with respect. They say they're going to let you go and they get the paperwork and tell you when your last check is going to come. All of that's respect. And they do it, calmly and without cursing at you and so on and so forth. So see, they're still keeping a kind of a decorum at work. If we break away from that and act as though, well, I work here and I do the majority and I'm disgruntled and mad because of this, that, and the other every day, and now you're telling me I'm wrong about this and I'm not even wrong, you gotta keep your cool. Matthew Lincoln, it's my 30th. Happy birthday, Matthew. Wow, that's dope. You are correct, Bear. Can't win them all. At least he's experienced and had a pretty decent last year. Yep. Heard today that the Patriots want a wide receiver. You know what? Yes, John. And with there being I just don't know if that's smart. I just, when's the last time you really heard about a wide receiver that dominated the league? There just isn't one. There just isn't one. The days of a Randy Moss, I think might be dead. You know what I mean? I think maybe he was more of a special athlete than we realized. Antonio Brown, I think was just, sorry, natural reflex. I think he was a little bit more than what we realized. You know what I mean? Those guys are just hyper athletes with great speed, great talent, great footwork, great hands, great recognition, great sight. Okay, that was a second burp. I don't know what's going on here. You really should subscribe. You're never going to get a host that gives you two good burps in one episode. Serious. But there's a dime a dozen on wide receivers is really where I was going. You know what I mean? You can get special receivers, but I mean, look at what we did. We brought in that kid Meyer. We brought in Meyer, and he's nice. Our number 2 wide receiver. You know what I mean? He's been nice, and you didn't see that in his resume, and yet there he is making plays for us. Yeah, Travis Kelly, I agree, and that was nice of you to say. So, Doc Rader, if you don't see that, I posted the comments so you can read that. What's up, Bear? Does pineapple belong on pizza? Honestly, yeah. I've been converted. I used to be the kind of guy I never understood any kind of sweet, cold flavor on pizza. It made no sense to me. And now when I bite into pepperoni and a hot piece of cheese and sauce, and then I feel that, that swish of pineapple and then the juice mixes into it, it's delicious. I'm shocked I admitted that, but it's true. In the last 2 years, I kind of started eating that. Bob Standard, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8R Bear. And happy birthday to my good friend, Bob, and Casey, his beautiful wife. And Bob, it's his birthday. He visited me at my home, and he's just a real cool dude. And he's always been down for the R8R Bear, and I really appreciate you, Bob. Matthew Lincoln said it depends on the pizza. That has a lot to do with it, too. But I'll be honest with you, I usually cheat. I take pineapple myself, and I put that on there. I don't even like trusting whether their pineapple's fresh or whatever. I just put it on my own. Hey, Bear, I see where Kermit the Frog is restructuring his contract so we can get some more weapons. I hope we hit on these draft picks. Travis Kelly, you're right about the restructuring for Kermit, but at the same time, I don't think it's so they can be aggressive in free agency the way you think. It's not to get weapons. It's to get their offensive line right, because they just got some things wrong with that offensive line. And now they just paid a ton of money, I believe. Or did they finish the deal with Jones? Because if they did, then they're kind of behind the 8 ball. Will the Raiders get Devin White, linebacker from the Bucks? Bob, if I don't know the answer, And the question is that, and it's about a linebacker, I always err on no. Because the Raiders have never wanted to pay a guy to play linebacker that looked like a 5 year, 8 year generational linebacker that they can keep there. You know what I mean? At that spot, like a Ray Lewis. But we moved on Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane is playing well, and they're gonna honor that. So if they bring in another guy, they're just gonna tell him this is what we pay linebackers. Take it or leave it. And he's probably gonna leave it. He'll go somewhere else, and we'll just end up, negotiation fodder to help him get a better deal. Anna Diaz Rincon, my first supporter ever. Mwah. Hi, love. Welcome to the show. Anthony J. Zirkle, the Harrison Bryant tight end signing was nice. December #2 with great blocking skills. Yeah, and the Harrison thing, I like him. I think he's a receiver, but at the same time, I think he might have been brought in more to be a Michael Mayer sort of big brother. You know what I mean? I can play the position right now. I know sight recognition right now. Now, for those of you who might not know what sight recognition mean, I just mean that if you call a play that runs up and to the right, and then when the tight end or the wide receiver is running the play and they notice that all the defense is on the right, then they're supposed to sight, and adjust, not go right, go left, and give the quarterback a target instead of just running into a single coverage or a cover two man of some sort, and you're bracketed out of the play. Now the quarterback needs more time to throw the ball to you, puts more pressure on the offensive line, adds the likelihood of a holding call being called, etc., etc. I think he's going to make Michael Mayer better quickly. I know a lot of people were frustrated with why Mayer wasn't getting more routes, wasn't getting more throws. I can tell you, I know exactly the reason. It's just he was reading defenses poorly. He understood the plays, he ran them well, but he did not side adjust. So sometimes defenses were covering him in ways he didn't understand. And so he couldn't read the side adjust. He thought he was open. And in reality, they had him in a cover two shell where you have to throw the ball absolutely perfect. And, when's the last time we had a quarterback that could really pinpoint, throw dimes at people? It's been a minute. Even Derek struggled with that. Wilkerson is high motor like Mad Max. Yeah, we probably will get, obviously, the most pressures in football. I think that's going to happen for sure. But it's also going to bring some guys down. We're going to get some sacks. And then add to that, we're going to be stopping the run a lot more, too. So it's going to be good. Christian Wilkins and Mad Max will always be on the field. 3 down linemen with high motors. They going to eat. I agree. Vicky Ginn. Well, since you have the bear and the teddy bear, Vicky Ginn. What's up, love? Welcome to the show. What's up, bear? Been a while. You hear any other signings? We made a couple of little small signings, but they're nothing really, that you're going to get excited about. You know what I mean? We solidified the position with Amir Abdullah, and we have Zamir White. The question going around today that I was seeing the most was, do you draft a running back or do you look for a running back in free agency to kind of battle it out? Now, the thing that people didn't notice, because real quietly this happened, Brandon Bolden was also given a deal. I think it was a 2-year deal, or either that or he might have a year left on his 2-year deal. I'm not quite sure, but I know they did something with Brandon Bolden. So you technically do have 3 running backs right now, 2 veterans and 1, sort of veteran in Zamir White. He's got a year or so, and some time under his belt, but they've been in the league longer than him. And then also the talk of Austin Eckler is real, guys. You know what I mean? I don't know if Eckler's signed anywhere yet, but as of yesterday, my knowledge was he had not signed with anyone yet. So if anyone knows if Eckler signed yet, let me know. But I don't think he has. And the reason I say that is because if he hasn't signed yet, that means the likelihood of him going to the Raiders is incredibly high, because free agents don't want to have long holdouts to figure out where they're going. They're going like lasers, because they know if they hesitate on a team, they might get an offer or see the value of a different person that plays your exact same position, and suddenly they get the contract and you're out just because you dragged your feet. And it's not the team being cruel. It's just that, free agency is like this, go, 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 go. And you remember the window, they close it. Okay, free agency is closed. So you got to do these deals fast. So I don't know. I could see things from the players aspect getting done fast. And since this is not getting done fast, that to me says they're just working out the numbers. You know what I mean? And then it's going to happen. Anna Diaz Rincon, my first supporter ever, said, I'm excited about the season, Bear. It's going to be exciting. Anna, it's going to be exciting, but it's going to be more of us being, valid in these football games. In other words, we're not blown out. We don't go into any games feeling like we have no chance to win. You know what I mean? We will go into every football game with the idea that, hey, we're coming. You know what I mean? Yes, pineapple on Canadian bacon pizza is yummylicious. If I wasn't allergic to pineapple, I'd have it on all my pizza. Vicky again, yeah, I'm a pineapple lover too. A lot of people wishing you a happy birthday, Bob. Raider Ryan, you absolutely can. Eat it! Okay, let's confirm for Doc Raider here. Let's get some things straight. He's a gentleman. He said there was no foul language involved. Some young upstart analyst was wrong in his conclusions, and since he was young, I patiently tried to show him his mistake. Arrogantly and loudly tried to tell me that I was too old to know, what I was talking about. I verbally stepped on him, but with no foul language. But in this day of political correctness, I guess I wasn't gentle enough. Yeah, Doc Raider, yes, you do have a lot of sissy la-la wannabe nipple-sucking sons of fudges at a lot of these jobs in this era. So what you want to do is just tippy-toe around them, the best you can, and go to whoever's above them and just make the point of, that guy is so wound so tight, if he squeezes it any harder, he's going to push out a diamond. And I would just like you to tell him to calm down, and when he does his analytics, if he gets them wrong, just accept correction from a veteran driver and move on. What's up? What's up, Joseph Sotelo? Welcome to the show. Joseph, we just brought on a new tight end that's pretty good from the Cleveland Browns, and so some of the fans were confused as to why we would do that if we have this high draft pick that's a stud coming out of college in Michael Mayer. And I just want to make it plain. There's more to struggling in football than just whether or not you're good enough or talented enough. Whether or not you're smart enough, there's more to it than that. And in his instance, I just think that defenses are showing him looks and he's getting confused. And I think our quarterbacks didn't want to wait for a big tight end to run through their motions to get through things when they could be throwing under Renfro quick, dump it off to Josh McDaniel or Josh Jacobs quick. Josh, come back to us, Josh. I say it ain't so. Sorry, I got emotional. I was struggling even to say his name right. But with both those guys gone and a lot of that short, route stuff, it's going to get adjusted. You'll have guys like Andre Carter, if he's still with the squad, that kind of thing, running those routes. And so they're going to have to work that out. Yeah, apparently, Mark Vargas, where our losers go to die is New Orleans now, apparently. I don't know. I don't know what the Saints are doing. I don't know why they think if they pull off of some of the Raiders' old karma from some of their players, that suddenly now they're going to be better than they were with us. I don't understand why everyone thought Derek Carr was going to be something different. And I even had some Raider fans that really thought he was going to go there and become this, incredible quarterback all of a sudden and stop making all the stupid mistakes he made for us. No. He's the same guy making the same stupid mistakes. When is the last time we had a star linebacker? It's been a while. A long while, Gwen Medina. Mr. Raider Bear, I was going to say this on Monday, but you had oodles of comments. Saturday was my birthday. Oh, I turned 11 and Mommy made me a breakfast pizza and Uncle Jim and Grampy came down. And Uncle Jim brought some peachy paterno, like he always does, and some Death by Chocolate ice cream. That's fantastic. Happy birthday, Tommy, and God bless you, little guy. You keep it up. Keep being that good young man that you are. Okay, let's see. And I'm sorry I missed that. It's my fault. Raider Ryan, Xavier Howard is the defensive back, if I'm not mistaken, and he has cover skills. I don't know if he's going to be too pricey for us. And then we've also made some other moves quietly after the Jacorian Bennett move. Forgive me, I can't remember the kid's name, but we did make another move for someone that they think could be a good player. And Tommy Anna Diaz said, "Happy birthday to you," and I'm sure many more will too. Steve Chapman, yes, Wilkins is power, and he's going to be a real killer. Vicky again, I appreciate the happy birthdays for my young man. Glenn Medina said, "Should we keep building the defensive line in free agency?" Honestly, defensive linemen to me are like your stormtroopers. They're your Green Berets. They're your baddest of the bad. You know what I mean? That you send in, and those are your shock troops. You know what I mean? That you just give them the business. If you look back to our great Raider teams on defense, we did have great defensive linemen. We had great linebackers. We had great corners. We had great safeties. I mean, we had it all. And so now people say, well, we've got to go back to the Raider way. Well, that's pretty hard when half your squad is Hall of Famer like gods. And then we have a fan say for years, make us Mount Olympus again. We need it. What's in you? Michael Guerrero, Naked Raider. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Where's Mama Bear? Mama Bear hasn't come and given me love during the show in a long time, okay? She don't do that anymore. Okay, Eckler signed with the Commodores. I knew that, the Commodores. With the Commanders, I knew there was a shot. Because I know I saw his name in the news, and I figured it's probably not just to talk about him, so he probably signed somewhere. But I'm just, as a host, I'm being honest, I hadn't seen that. And so, yeah, he went to another team where, wins go to die. First in San Diego, then in Los Angeles, and now in Washington. Shane Kid. Okay, I saw somewhere that free agent running backs are taken. Okay. Write that down again for me, Tanamoku. I didn't quite understand that. I believe he signed with what? Yes. Yes. Eckler, getting past that. How are we doing in the DB room? Glenn Medina, not so good. I know that Terry and Donald is my pick at 13. I think that the Raiders are going to pick Terry and Donald at 13. I think they're just going to decide to pay the kid. Now, could they use the one to move up and blah, 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 blah for Jalen Daniels? Yes. But I think one of those two things is likely. If I had to guess which one I think is going to happen, it is a new day for the Raiders. We do have this new aggressive mentality in our front office. You can see that. So if I said this was going to continue in the way it has, I would say we do move up and try to get Jalen Daniels. And more importantly, Jalen Daniels or JJ McCarthy can be gotten if we can get inside or at 5. But if we get anywhere from 1 through 5, we can get whichever one we want, I think. Because the other teams, I think, are going to overreact with Caleb. And then that kid from North Carolina, he'll probably be the second one. Last name was, I think, Drake. That's kind of how I was remembering who he was. He's got a cannon for an arm. Who is the best quarterback in this draft? Who would you draft at 13 if someone you want is there? Ooh, well, that's a tough one. I mean, that's a tough one. I like Jalen Daniels, but I don't know if, you know what I mean? Like is he a right away guy? I don't know about that. I kind of like JJ McCarthy because he seems physically to be ready to go, right now. But Michael Penix Jr., who has all these medical issues and all those things that went on with him in school, and I think he still is someone the Raiders would look at if he's still on the board. I think that there's going to be teams that are going to shy away from him because of his health record, and I think they're going to pay the price for that because I think there's a very good chance that kid's going to have a very good career. Don't forget, it was Randy Moss who went into the draft with all these, questions about his behavior and his legs. And then suddenly they're a great team and he's a great player and everything works out. Oh, and brought the boys with her too.
I heard
there you go, Vicky again.
About me.
Say what?
I heard you talking smack.
Well, not necessarily my usual smack. It was more like Vicky Ginn started smack. She was wondering where Mama Bear was.
Trying to watch Netflix, they booted us out like 20 times.
Yikes.
So we gave up.
Charles Washington, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Hey, Bear, did you see where RFK asked Jesse the Bobby tour? Yes, I saw that. I did, yeah. And, well, I mean, we all knew he was a crackpot, and if you didn't know it before this, then now you definitely know it. Who's going to fill in for Jacobs? Well, that was kind of where I was going, Bob Standard, in the middle or beginning of my show here. I was talking about the fact that they quietly still have Brandon Bolden on the books. They re-signed Amir Abdullah, and we still have Zamir White on the books. So that's your three running backs right there. I just feel like AP might feel like we can win with those guys. Is one of them a superstar? No. But he feels like with those three guys, he's just got to kind of feel his way through them. For example, I feel like there's going to be times where Amir Abdullah is going to be the best guy on the field that day. He's going to make some cuts. He's going to find some holes. He's going to finish with 115 yards and a touchdown. And then the next week, we're going to have to let Zamir and Brandon Bolden kind of take over because we don't want to lose Amir because we're hitting him too hard with too many snaps because he's not a big guy. He's a little guy. He's a tough, fast little guy, but he's a little guy. And so you can't go wearing him into the ground. Carr went to Nolan. It seems like it got worse. And he had players fighting with him openly on camera and in front of reporters. When do you ever see that happen? It's a sign what happened to Derek in New Orleans. It's a sign that everything we heard about him acting like a diva with us is true. And he walked into that locker room thinking he could speak to them the same way he was speaking to us. But he had no credibility in that locker room. So he went into their locker room and went, I'm Derek Carr, and this is how it's going to be. And people started getting in his face saying, yeah, well, we'll see, buddy. Just have to say this. 3 number 1 picks in one draft, not one on the team. Yeah, and there are those that are saying it's going to be kind of a see who blinks first to see who's willing to go up to the top and pay this quarterback money and who's willing to wait to see if some of these guys fall down a little bit and you get them a little on the cheap. Because I don't think any of you have heard, except for the number 1 guy from USC. Have you heard anyone say, oh yeah, these guys are guaranteed, they're guaranteed starters, they're guaranteed, they're going to be great, guaranteed? No. You haven't heard that about anyone but Caleb. Yeah, the Wilkins move is about as good as it gets, Vicky. I agree. And that was a winnable division in the NFC South, right? Speak to it, Joseph. Bear, don't show this comment, but can you give Tommy a Raiders? Oh, and a whoop whoop for Tommy's birthday. Vic again, I think he's going to try to change that vibe, but I think he's going to do it with guys in free agency. And I think it can be done that way. I really do. I also think that with a trade, he may be able to do that, maybe hand a team a couple of, picks. Maybe we pick up a veteran linebacker that way. I can see that happening. Yeah, Charles Washington, I agree. It definitely brings back old school football, bringing in Wilkins. What's up, Jesse Parker? I see you there. Vicky Ginn asks, Bear, are you coming to the kickoff in Bakersfield? I don't know. You got to ask the boss.
We're not even in Cali anymore.
It said the running back pool in free agency is dried up. Oh, okay. Well, Tana, what they're saying is that even though there's guys in the running back pool, they're not guys worth taking a risk on like Cook. You know what I mean? You look at Cook, you see all this dynamics and speed, and he's a banger, but he's one hit away from being gone for half your season. You know what I mean? The guy just gets hurt. Running backs get banged up. So you got to go with young guys and free agents that you think have something left. And, they're just going to keep downgrading running backs as much as they can.
Okay.
Chris Robinson, no, you speak to it. Chris Robinson, seems like we're just loading up on defense, but not to be negative, but I feel like the offense will struggle. Now, I completely get that, Chris Robinson. That only makes sense. Now, let me just try to talk you off the ledge in this way. The offense is going to happen more as we get into the draft and as we get into the other side of the offseason, going into OTAs and then the preseason. I think that's where you'll see it. Don't forget, that's how we brought in Spillane, too. And so, although he's a defensive player, but you get what I'm saying. We went after other veteran guys and pieces that would help us. I think they'll do the same thing on offense. They're just prioritizing defense first. Because like the Wilkins move had to be made now. If you didn't make the Wilkins move now, you would have just lost him to someone else. You see what I'm saying? So time factored into the business. I hope that answered your question. I thought the running back position was dead. They sure got the money. Yeah. Well, I mean, they got the money, but really, honestly, Charles, they didn't get much more. It would be like a $10 million bonus being brought up to 12. That's really all you saw. You're seeing a couple $1 million go to the running backs, and that's it. And that seems like a pittance out of respect for the fact that, they are an almost most hit position. Other than linemen on both sides of the line, defense and offense, running backs get hit as much or more than anyone on the field. Mark Vargas said, we are moving up for a quarterback. Well, that's been discussed. Yeah, see, Joseph Sotelo is talking about Drake May. I get that. I really do. I hope it happens because if it does, I would have said it was Jalen Daniels. But if it's Drake May, that guy's got a cannon. He's a ball slinger. So now if you bring him up, I put him in starting, competing with AOC from the jump, and Gardner Minshew ends up your 2 or your 3. Because I think Gardner Minshew could outplay AOC, and if AOC falls by that much, yeesh, what's that going to do for his credibility for his next team? You know what I mean? It's going to be tough. I would take Penix Jr. Bob Standard, a lot of medical history there, but there is a chance that'll happen because there are those that are saying when Penix looks right, his arm is a cannon. It's a free motion. He doesn't have to the ball to get it there. It's just in his free motion, and he can throw darts. I mean, he just, wherever you're at, bing, wherever you're back, bing, like laser locked. His only drawback is that he looks like a paper tiger, that he's vicious and he's deadly, but just one little prick and he's down. And you just got to hope that's not who he is. And I'll be honest with you, I was the first to say that I thought Tui, whatever, the starting quarterback for the Dolphins. I was saying, I just didn't think that guy could come back from something like that. Separated hip. I just, one, it was a miracle he didn't die. And two, I mean, you have the hips of a 60-plus-year-old. I mean, I just thought he was done. And so I think he's close to done. I don't think a guy like that, that's not very fast of foot, shorter guy, even though he has a decent arm and he can throw very accurately, I just don't see it. But with Penix, I have the same reservations. Chris Robinson, that's cool. A couple's dinner date. I like that. Believe me when I tell you that nobody is taking Kennedy seriously. Yeah, Doc Rader, I get that. The car's a wash. I was talking about our 2019 draft. Oh, okay. Who would be your choice of quarterback, Bear? Ooh. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of getting sold on J.J. McCarthy. And so whenever one of us picks a quarterback, the first thing that the person listening does is start rattling through all the different quarterbacks in their mind. And they say, he better pick this guy, or this guy, or he doesn't know football. Well, the truth is, even if you do think that way, in other words, you think it's obvious that the kid at number 1, Caleb, is number 1. If you think that Drake is number 2, if you think that J.J. McCarthy is number 3, and so on and so forth, that doesn't mean that the 6th or 7th quarterback couldn't be better than all those guys. Because oftentimes, the level of competition of the NFL, it brings something more out of a guy that sees, what, the college level was cool, but man, this is next level. And then they reach it and they become a true, valuable NFL player. Not even necessarily a star, but if they then can slowly become a star, that's even greater. But my point is which one of these quarterbacks will be the one that ascends from the rest of the group? And these, prognosticators don't usually get it right. They just don't. You know what I mean? Everyone had that guy, Bryce, over CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud ends up being better by a lot. You know what I mean? They were both put on terrible teams, bad teams with bad histories, and one flourished and the other one went. I'll spell that if someone can tell me how. Mark Tomlinson, good Thursday afternoon, Raider brother and sister, and the rest of the Bear family over in the or LR, all well too. For me, out here in Christchurch, South Island, you got me again, Mark Tomlinson. I started reading it. You got me again. I need to have Kevin Kahuano come in and tell me how to say that. Glenn Medina, which linebackers are available in free agency? I mean, there's guys available, but there's not anyone that's going to make you think, oh, that guy could lead our team and blah, blah, blah. We have that in Spillane. We don't really need a big name guy. We just need good linebacker play. That's it. Even Patrick Queen that you see is available. I think he's already gone to another team, but if he hasn't, I don't see it. I don't know why we have to, always go for whoever is the best available at something. That wide receiver, got to go get him. That linebacker, oh, we got to go get him. No. You just want guys that fit positions and are going to make your team better. That and my free agency list crashed. But that was my true answer, but my free agency list crashed. I heard Wilkins played fullback. Is that true? Glenn, yes, from not mistaken, or maybe it was tight end. I'm not sure, but he played on offense, but then he grew into playing the position he's playing. Frank White said Telesco needs to sign Devin White already. Well, I mean, that would be nice, but Devin White's going to command a purse, and so he has to make up his mind whether or not he wants to open the purse for that. Although it would seem to make sense to me. Shane Street said Bucky Irving, running back from Oregon, is a damn good back, big, and can block. Okay. Anybody but Caleb Williams, I can't say that enough. Jim, I don't think Caleb Williams is that bad. You have to understand, you're giving us all information based on things he did on the seasons you saw in college. All of that changes when you go up to the next level and now have to learn different plays, working with offensive play coaches, working with, defensive coordinators, recognizing, is this cover 2? Is this cover 3? How does this work? How do I throw against that? Do I audible against it? If I'm throwing into what I think is a pass defense, do I dump it underneath? Or do I audible to a delayed, run play, etc., delayed draw, etc.? It's a lot to learn. But if he gets it, he could end up being really good. Oh, nice. Okay, Vicky again. If we move up, what do we give up? Oh, Glenn Medina, I mean, it's going to be at least 2 first-round picks. If it's the first pick overall, then it would be 3 first-round picks. Aaron Andre, I've heard the name Bo Nix a lot. I just don't know if Bo Nix is going to be there for the Raiders. Especially if they try to wait to 13. Now, I know that's not what anyone thinks. They're thinking move up, and that's cool. Mark your words. Bo Nix wins. Aaron Andre, I don't have anything to say negative about Bo Nix. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good player. I like how he speaks in interviews. He seems like a friendly guy. But there's a lot of that in the draft. All you're going to do is just try to make your best guesstimate. Now, if it's the best guesstimate, I say Bo Nix will probably be a pretty good quarterback, but I'd also say he's going to be gone before. Well, in fact, instead of saying number 9, it'll be pick number 30. It'll be pick number 9 just before 13 or number 6. It's going to be someone because there's going to be a value to these guys that we don't see coming because there's going to be teams that are going to move up to get them that do need quarterback help, or do want to get a guy that's going to be their future, et cetera, et cetera. Mr. R8RBEAR is bringing in my Fields a done deal, or as Grampy says, is there still I's and dots and T's. Yeah, still about. Excuse me. Yeah, Tommy. Still a lot more to do there. Oh, Aaron Andre, I miss you. 209. That's my old neighborhood. Matt was a possibility today, but signed back with Los Angeles. Glad we didn't pick him up. Reyes Antonio, I'm not glad about that. I still think he has a lot to give. Unfortunately, though, I think he would have been looking for another big contract, and we're just not about that right now. We're trying to build up a team. Mauricio Cortez says, I hope the Raiders don't get Fields. I would pass out from embarrassment. You don't think there's any chance that guy could come in and have better football? I mean, remember, Baker Mayfield is a fart in the wind. I mean, that guy's useless, an idiot, a macho just to say so kind of guy. And yet he went to a team, then he lands on the Bucks or lands on the Rams, for 5 minutes, plays pretty good, ends up with the Bucks, plays pretty good, better than he's played in his life. Now suddenly he's throwing up big numbers and looks like he might be the real deal as a starter. So you just never know what you're going to get. With Chicago, I would say Chicago, people say that what they saw from Fields while he was in Chicago wasn't good enough. I hear that a lot. Now, I would just respond to that with this. You only give a harsh evaluation to someone if they're like Derek Carr. You have too many years of seeing him to know exactly what he is. We know what he is because we had the time to evaluate that. I don't think we have that with Fields because the Bears were a bad team from top to bottom. Their defense had been lost, their offense had been lost, and then they drafted Fields. So I just think that you can't blame the chef sometimes because all the ingredients came from Walmart. You know what I mean? A lot of Walmart shoppers just got really mad at me. Bear, I have a question. How many quarterbacks picked in the top 10 in the past 10 years have turned into great players? Probably 0 to 1. Although I do think CJ Stroud's going to be really nice. Yeah, too many swings and misses. I get that. But sooner or later, some of these guys, you have to believe that they could be one of those guys. Alexa, play Hide by NASA.
Hide, Chocola's Remix by NASA on Amazon Music.
All right, that's my show, guys. That's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force, for all you do. The energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. Oh, it don't wash off. It's a birthright. I don't like that. I'm lying. All right, that's my show, and I'll see you soon. Raider Bear, Family Praise. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share your voice. Share. No, share.